I'm very passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize you can still lead a fairly healthy. Oh, I did that didn't come out right. Well, yeah, I'm in a mood. Sorry, it is a high pain day and I am in a mood. I will own that. But you can lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself. Oh, my hair's a little wild. Yeah, I am. It's a high pain day. It's a really high pain day. I woke up this morning and from my mid back up to about here, everything is so tight and knotted up that I was numb all the way down into both hands. And, you know, that's daunting to start your week like that. It really is. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think about it. That's how my week started. And I got to tell you, I've been in a mood all day. I'm very short-tempered. I'm very impatient, and that's not me. That's not who I want to be. That's not how I want to present myself to the world. But I'm just being real with y'all. That's how this stuff it affects you. I often say, and I know people probably think I'm being melodramatic, but chronic pain really does eat away at your soul. And I gotta tell you, and yes, I'm off on a tangent, surprise, but I gotta tell you, I don't know how people deal with this if they don't have faith. My faith in God anchors me so, so much on days like this. And this morning I listened to back to back, just one positive, uplifting religious message after another because I had to. Because if I would have gone into, say, politics or something, I would have not, I don't think I would have been able to get through my day. But anyway, anyway, shit happens. So what? Cry later. I mean, I don't mean this like dismissively of other people, but nobody cares. They don't. People have their own problems. Nobody gives a damn. Truly. I mean, they might have some empathy, and a lot of people do. I'm not trying to be dismissive. People have empathy for me, my friends, my loved ones. They have empathy when I have a day like this. But really, in the big picture, nobody gives a damn, nor should they. But boy, I am in a mood. um, Chronic illness in social media is a very weird thing. By the way, this information is from themighty.com, and the Mighty is a really good website. Yes, I did pause there. I'll explain why, but it's a great resource for people who have chronic illnesses and or disabilities. That being said, however, this stuff does eat away at your soul, and there's a lot of negativity in the message boards on that website. Now, that is not, I'm not trying to disparage anybody there. I'm not trying to dismiss the quality of some of the information that's available on the Mighty. I'm just telling you to be aware before you head over there, because it can't, if you're already feeling really sorry for yourself, the message boards, there's good information you can go look for, but the message boards are probably not your friend if you're already feeling really down. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, obviously, or I would imagine obviously, I'm a really passionate advocate for people with chronic illnesses, for especially people with so-called invisible illnesses. That being said, it's often very difficult for me to post on social media about how I'm feeling. I did this morning because I just flat out was feeling whiny, and gosh damn it, feel sorry for me. It's where I was at this morning. But most people in my situation, they flat refuse to talk about it openly on social media. I can't tell you all how often over the years, I've been doing this for, gosh, 10, 15 years now. Not videos, but talking about my health situation. And people will come to me that I've interacted with for several years, and out of nowhere, they'll hit me with, oh, yeah, I have insert invisible illness or chronic condition here. And I'm always like, whoa, I had no idea. No, yeah, I know. I didn't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it for a multitude of reasons. Let's get into that. Number one, we don't want to talk about it because people assume that we're just looking for attention. Okay, you know what? Sometimes, sure, sometimes I am looking for attention. Sometimes, gosh damn it, I'm having a pity party and I want you to join in. I'll own that. But generally speaking, if you see somebody talking about this, we're not looking for attention. We're not trying to be melodramatic. We're not ungrateful. I had somebody tell me that once. Oh my God, you're so ungrateful. Excuse me, but bitch, please. I'm one of the most grateful people you'll ever encounter. Why? Because I literally came this close to being a bedridden pill popper. I am extraordinarily grateful. I am very appreciative of the good things in my life. That being said, if things are rough, they're rough. We're reluctant to post because people think we're being whiny. Sometimes I am. Sure. You would be too, I guarantee it. People think we're lacking faith. Oh my gosh, my faith is the only thing that gets me through this. I get through some days like this. I get through by the skin of my teeth and by my faith. If I didn't have faith, I didn't used to, when all this started, I didn't have faith. And I'll tell you, it was a lot damned harder to deal with. People think we're weak. I can about guarantee I have more mental strength than just about anybody I know. It's just a fact. I don't have any choice. And I'm not saying that because I think I'm all that. I'm saying that because I don't have a choice. Like today, I wanted nothing more than to draw the blinds, close my bedroom door, crawl back. I have a really comfortable bed. I wanted to just crawl back in bed and do nothing. But that wasn't an option. I have obligations. I have responsibilities. I had shit I had to do. Most people, I always feel so arrogant when I say this, but most people, if you don't deal with this on a regular basis, you wouldn't be able to pull yourself up by the bootstraps on a day like this and get your shit done. You just wouldn't. And my favorite people think we're crazy. Honestly, yeah, probably a little. How can you not deal with this? How can you deal with this and not be a little bit crazy? Truly. How can you hurt the vast majority of your time and not be a little crazy? It impacts every aspect of your life, certainly your mental health. A lot of us don't post about it. Most of us don't post about it because there's a lot of sadness involved. Our lives have changed drastically. Little simple little activities like cleaning. I am looking around and my little place is so cluttered and I can't stand it. But I want a clean, tidy place. I don't always have the energy to do that. And I know if I go scour my bathroom right now, well, okay, right now would not be a good example because I'm already feeling really, really under the weather. But if I'm having a pretty good day and I'm like, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean. And I start cleaning my house. Odds are I'm going to throw myself into a flare. Even if I only do an hour or so of housework, I can throw myself into a flare that will have an impact on me for days and days. Imagine living like that, where just simple daily tasks leave a tremendous impact on you. We're utterly exhausted, but we can't rest because we feel guilty. Like today, I should have taken the day off work. I should have, but I couldn't because I know myself and I know that I would have just laid there and worked myself into a complete mental state of, oh my gosh, and I have this to do, I have that to do, and nobody's attending to this issue, and that issue it's just going to get worse. Sorry, I'm itchy. There's a lot of guilt that goes along with this. So even though I need to rest, I didn't. We get painsomnia. That's when you're so freaking tired. I call it whoop toddler mode. I get so damn tired. I literally can barely keep my eyes open. And if I sit somewhere, my head starts to fall back and my eyes will roll. I can't sleep because as soon as I go lay down, as soon as the I don't want to say the worries of the day, but as soon as the interactions of the day are gone and I'm laying there and I can relax, that's when I notice how much I really hurt during the daytime. In fact, I know this is true because I asked my doctor a couple years ago, like, what the hell? Why does it always get worse at night? Well, because during the day I've got enough going on to distract me that I don't realize how bad the pain really is. So imagine how daunting that is when you know the pain's really bad. You've been aware of it all damn day, and you know when you go to bed, it's just going to get worse. We're sad because we grieve for our former lives. We're often angry and bitter. Now, I spend a lot of time at angry and bitter, and it's not a way to live, and it's not any place that you can stay for very long. But we're certainly entitled to be there because our lives have changed completely and irrevocably, and there's not a hell of a lot we can do about it. If you're in that space, don't deny those feelings. You have to process that. There is a lot of really unpleasant emotions that go along with this crap. You deserve to be pissed off. You deserve to be angry. You deserve to be sad. You deserve to grieve. But you can't stay there. You can't stay there because it's not going to do you any damned good. It's just going to make your situation worse. And I know this because I tried that. It does not work. This stuff is really isolating. Oh, gosh damn, I've already been talking for 12 minutes. I got to hurry the hell up. This is something obviously I'm really passionate about, especially on a day like this. This stuff is so isolating. Our worlds shrink so small. You wouldn't believe, maybe you would, how many friends I've lost over the years because of my health issues. I mean, what the hell, people? But, I went for years where I wouldn't make plans with anybody. Because if I ended up flaring and had to cancel, it was never worth the grief that I would get. Oh my God, are you canceling again? You're such a flake. I knew you were going to cancel. Well, then why the hell did you call me in the first place? But this stuff is so isolating, and we know we're letting you down. We feel it. But what you don't understand is, A, you don't understand that we're keenly aware that we're letting you down, but B, you don't understand we're letting ourselves down. And I got to tell you, that's a hell of a lot harder to live with than letting somebody else down. We know we can't do the things that we used to do. Hell, we can't do the things that we want to do. And that's why our world shrinks to an incredibly small place. We don't like to talk about it because of judgment. Healthy people, I'm sorry, but y'all can really be assholes sometimes. Excuse my language, but you really can. And for someone like me who has a so-called invisible illness, I mean, there's even a whole website, but you don't look sick. What the hell does that even mean? Because I choose to pull myself together. I choose to make the best of my situation. I don't slump around here with, okay, my hair's always unkempt because it's curly, but I don't slump around here with morning hair and wearing oversized sweats and a raggedy ass t-shirt. That doesn't mean I don't have health issues. I mean, what? Come on, people, do better. Do better. Boy, I am in a mood. I'm really sorry, but this apparently isn't going to stop. Look, we get that it's hard for healthy people to understand this. We don't really expect you to understand, but we do expect you to have a little empathy. But that's a big part of why we keep to ourselves. We don't want to burden you. We don't want to be whiny. I had one of my best friends a few years ago, and I know some of you have heard this many times, but one of my best friends got really frustrated with me. Gosh damn it, quit telling me you're fine. She didn't say gosh damn it, but quit telling me you're fine when I know you're not fine. I want to know how you're feeling, or I wouldn't ask. And in her case, it was true. She does want to know. She loves me. She genuinely wants to know. So I explained to her, I appreciate that. But if I have to focus on it enough to put it into words, I'm focused on it too much. So it's just easier to tell you that I'm okay. Because really, truly, I am okay. I will be fine. I'm just in a rough patch right now. We don't like to talk about it on social media because people are very freaking belittling. This is a huge problem. Now, me being the kind of person that I am, even when somebody says something extraordinarily inelegant to me, I try to assume that they have good intentions. I give people the benefit of the doubt. But when you say shit to somebody like me, excuse my language, actually it's a blanket, excuse my language from here out, because it's just that kind of day. But when you come to somebody who has chronic pain and you're like, well, everybody hurts sometimes. Well, no shit. We know that. We're not stupid. But there is a vast difference between you hurting once in a while, even you hurting a couple times a week, and us hurting damn near 24/7. It's not the same thing. Until you have spent literally years of your life sitting in a freaking doctor's office looking for answers, we don't want to hear that you hurt sometimes. I'm sorry if that sounds heartless, but we don't. Now, of course, if you have an acute situation going on, of course, I'm going to have empathy for you, not with you, for you. But if you just, well, everybody hurts sometimes. Well, no shit. I know that. I don't have empathy for that. Another thing we don't need is, well, you'll feel better if you just fill in the blank. If you just eat better, if you just lost weight, if you just exercise more, if you just whatever. Guess what? I guarantee you, I promise you, we've had those conversations with our medical teams. And yes, I did say teams because there's always multiple doctors involved with this crap. Now, excuse me. One way where I'm very different than most of my friends who deal with chronic health issues. If you bring me something and say, look, Lo, I've discovered this and I think it could help you, I'm going to assume that you mean well. And even if I've seen that exact same thing 1,000 times, I'm going to be very appreciative because, again, I give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to assume that you mean well, that you're well-intentioned. But I'll tell you, it really surprises me how many of my friends who have similar health situations to mine, they don't want to hear it at all. Look, I've heard it, I've read it, I've seen it, I'm not interested. I appreciate the intent, if not the delivery. So my suggestion to you, if you have somebody in your life and you're like, but gosh, Corda, no, I just know this one bit of information will help them, then you know what? You need to work on your delivery. Don't go to your chronically ill friend and say, or loved one and say, you need to do this. Say, look, you've probably heard this, you've probably seen this, but I ran across this the other day and I thought maybe it could help you. You'll need to suggest things to us. You don't need to tell us because you don't have any idea what the hell this is like. Again, you can't. We get that. But you need to understand how often people are, frankly, how often people are trying to sell us shit. Well, hey, if you buy my product, but even truly, even with that, if somebody comes at me and I feel they're sincere, I'll consider their product. I very rarely buy because I know from experience that all these miracle cures are very rarely worth anything, but I'll at least check out your stuff. But most people in my situation, they're not interested. We don't like to talk about this stuff because it's a lot of embarrassment involved. A lot of the shit that we deal with, there's no dignity in having health issues. A lot of what we deal with, it's just not polite conversation. I don't want to talk about it. We don't discuss it because we have a fear of rejection. Your chronic illness by its very nature is so isolating. We don't even want to go out much. This is not a reflection on you. I'm really blessed. I have some girlfriends back in Alaska, and last winter they came to me. They were so cute, and they're like, okay, here's the deal. You are not going to sit home and isolate yourself all winter. You are going to come out with us once a month. And so the rules were, I could never say no. If I really felt terrible, we would just go to Amy's house because Amy lives alone. We'd just go to Amy's house and hang out. But I was not allowed to tell them no. I'm so blessed. Do you know how many people over time have, I mean, I've lost so many friendships because of my health issues, because I don't always feel like going out. I don't always want to go do something. But these two women were like, well, no, we get that. That's why we're not telling you have to go. You don't have to go out and be in public, but you need to come. Now I'm going to cry. You need to come and be with people who love you and with people who are going to support you through this, because they appreciate how difficult this shit is to live with. It's so hard for somebody like me to make plans, even harder to keep those plans. Healthy people don't get that. You know, if you have plans with someone who's dealing with chronic health issues and they cancel at the last minute, now, obviously, if it's a once in a lifetime event, they're going to tell you go and have fun and enjoy yourself, obviously. But if it's not a once in a lifetime event, instead of getting all pissy and making it about you, because newsflash, it's not. Why don't you be a really good friend and say, gosh, you know what? I'm sorry you feel like shit. How about I'll go pick up your favorite meal. I'll come over and we'll just hang out, and then go over there and be a low maintenance guest and just sit there and be comfortable companionship. Y'all have no idea how absolutely invaluable that kind of thing is to somebody in my situation. Now, those of us who are brave enough to post, we just want some fellowship. We just want some friendship, because again, this shit's really isolating. I don't get out much. Social media is, frankly, it is my social life. Isn't that sad? But it's the truth. Sometimes we just need a sounding box. Sometimes I just need to just throw my anger and my grief out to the world and have somebody come back and say, you know what? I'm sorry. It's going to be okay. Sometimes we just want to feel normal and talk about our lives the way normal people talk about their lives and what's going on with us. It's not as big of an issue for me anymore as it used to be, but you kind of feel like a freak when you deal with this shit. You really do. You feel so different than the rest of the world. We don't get out much. We don't see a lot of people in real lives. Talking about it on social media is often our only outlet. And you know what? Sometimes the people in our real lives, they don't have a lot of empathy. They don't have any understanding. Now, I'm not saying that to condemn them. A lot of times people get frustrated because they want to fix this and they can't. And so their way of coping with that is to just pretend it's not happening. That's not helpful. For the record, that's not helpful. Sometimes we just want to be seen and heard. We want to make sure that y'all don't forget about us. Anyway, I'm going to take my cranky, weepy ass off of here and get off my soapbox, because I've already talked way, way longer than I intended to. But, you know, this is, none of us asked for this shit. None of us asked for this. And it's just what we have to deal with. Being kind doesn't cost you a damned thing, but you would be surprised at how few people bother. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done. I'm going to go off on a huge rant if I don't shut the hell up. So pardon my language, the whole video. I know it was more off color than I like to be, but I'm seriously, it's one of those days when I'm just up to freaking here with it. I'm sick and tired of it, but you know what? It doesn't matter. This is my life. I have to deal with it. Anyway, if you are dealing with chronic illness, or you know somebody who is, and you want more advice on how to help them, how to support them, or if you're the one dealing with it and you want more advice on how to support yourself. Obviously, this is something I'm very, very passionate about. So please drop me a line. I try to be very responsive, and I will be more than happy to give you advice and lead you down the path that has made a huge difference for me. Because today aside, I'm entitled to have my days. I am. But generally speaking, I have a great attitude. And even on a day like this, you know what? Tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow is probably going to be a lot better. And if it's not, well, you know what? The day after probably will be. And that's truly my attitude on it, even on difficult days. So drop me a line. I'll be happy to share my resources with you. Most of them are free, which makes them even better. But y'all take care, and I will be back Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central. Thanks. Good night.